Everyone. So today I'm going to do a little phonics lesson on adding E and ED to words. So here we have the word tap, and the kids know how to sound this out. They know to say tap. But when we have an E that comes in on the end of the word, what we teach the kids is that E shouts a long way to make a long A, and E goes to sleep, and A says A. Basically, what that means is that when there's an E at the end of the word, it makes this vowel a long sound. And a long vowel says its own name, A, E, I, O, or U. And then we don't pronounce the E at the end of the word. So this word is now tape. It happens with other words too. So here's the word hug. If we put an E in at the end and we followed our rule, an E shouts to you and makes you long. This is a symbol for long, so it says its name. And E goes to sleep. We now have huge, huge. Same thing for the word pin. We add an E to the end. Follow our rule. E shouts over to I. He's shouting over one neighbor. And he says I, and E goes to sleep. So now the word is pine. We also have the word hop. We add an E to the end of the word hop. E shouts over his neighbor, and he makes the vowel say O. It's really important. So this is the word hope, sorry. It's also really important that kids know that if there are two consonants here. So for instance, if I had the word kick, if I added an E to the end of this word, E cannot shout over two neighbors. That just doesn't happen. He can't shout over two neighbors. He can only shout over one neighbor. His voice isn't loud enough. So if there was an end at the word, E at the end of this word, it would be something like kicka or kicky. So this does not work. We're only talking about when he shouts over one neighbor. But this takes us into adding ED to the end of the word. So if you remember a minute ago, we had the word tap and we changed it to tape. If I add an ED to the end of this word, E is still there. So E is still going to shout to the A. So I have the word taped, like he taped up his artwork on the board. But look what happens here. If I add ED to the end of this word, I get the word, because E still shouts to his neighbor, I get the word huged. Huged? That doesn't make sense. If E can still shout over a neighbor and make this vowel long, what we have to do is double the consonant. We double the letter before the E. Because if you remember, E can't shout over two neighbors. So now I have the word hugged. That's better. E can't shout over two neighbors, so I just say the word and add my ED ending. Let's try another. Here's the word jog. If I just added my ED, E would shout over his neighbor and make jogged into jogged. I don't want jogged. So if I added another G, now E can't shout over two neighbors, so I get the word jog and I add my ED ending. Jogged. Let's try another one. Skip. If I just added ED, E's gonna shout over this neighbor and make a long I. And I'd have the word Skyped. That's not what I'm looking to do. I wanted the word skipped. So I look for the letter right before ED and I double it. And now I have the word skipped. Skipped. If a word already has two consonants that E can't shout over, your job is so easy. See? E can't shout over two neighbors. He can't do that. So, this word is kicked. And we also know that ed at the end of the word can say the t sound or the d sound, or sometimes it even says ed. So this is kicked. Here's another word. If we look, we can see that next to the E, there's two consonants. So I don't need to double any letters. I can just say wished. Wished. That's the end of this lesson for today. I hope you learned something new. And if you have any questions, please be sure to message me. Have a good day. Bye.